A wonderful Thursday evening to you here on Midnight Movie Talk. Eric Weber here with another movie. This is why I love doing Midnight Movie Talk, the MMT, because you never know what's going to happen. Like last night, I went in to watch The Gray Man thinking, oh, this is going to be awesome. I love the Russo brothers, the direction, Endgame, and Infinity War, and not Cherry, but forget Cherry. And then I watched The Gray Man, and as you guys know, go back and watch the video. I mean, I just basically went off on the film for 1 hour straight about how it is the worst film of the year. Then I turn around tonight, and I go to see Where the Crawdads Sing. And I'm saying to myself, I don't really want to see Where the Crawdads Sing. This is not going to be, a film that's made for me or something that I'm going to have any attachment to. I will go see this and forget about it, and life will move on. And then funny things happen, such as the film is actually very solid. Okay. Very easy to see why Where the Crawdads Sing is a massive bestseller. It's a book adaptation that is really just an expansive love story, very much like The Notebook, right? Like Sparks, and then add in this murder mystery element to it. It's got a spiritual aspect to it. It's the kind of film that is going to do really well in the quote unquote red states, right? It's not going to do huge numbers in New York, LA, Chicago, the main, strongholds of cinema. It's going to be one of these films that sells out in Dayton, Ohio, my hometown of Columbus, Arkansas, Tennessee. And there's a reason, because it's very well made. It's the construction on the film. I got to say, this is not an easy book to adapt. I have not read the original, the book, so I go into the movie not knowing anything about Where the Crawdads Sing. But I can tell based on what I'm seeing on the screen that adapting it is not necessarily the easiest thing to do. So kudos to the director here, and I think it's wonderful. She hasn't done a whole lot of work before. Olivia Newman's her name. I really think it's solid, very sturdy direction of material that would normally not be the easiest thing to do for a lot of directors. So I give Olivia credit for that. But just a little bit on the story. It's basically about a swamp girl who has, throughout her entire life, been discarded, pushed to the side, and throughout her, and again, it's very expansive, the film. We go from seeing her as a little girl all the way through to really the end of the road. But when you look at the film, and the theme very clearly is about love, okay? So it is like The Notebook. And I'm not even that like mushy guy who's like, I don't know, I don't like those kind of films. But for whatever reason, this is a film that works. And I go to these reviews and I'm seeing it at like a rotten, 44% or whatever it is. I haven't even looked recently, but when I looked earlier today, I'm like, how is it at 44%? That's not a good film. I think this is another one of these films we're going to have an issue with when we talk about critic and mainstream audience disconnect. Very much so. We talk about how many critics are in this space, and they do not view films as they're intended for their audiences. They view them through their own prisms. And I think that's one of the things when we talk about film evaluation criticism, you have to get out of your own way, and you have to just view the film in as neutral a spot as possible. And I think for me, I'm thrilled that again tonight I was able somehow to go from the space of this is not going to be good, I can't believe I'm wasting my time watching this movie, to wait a second, this is actually very satisfying. In It really does what it's supposed to do with the source material, and that is always going to be a win for me when I evaluate a film. Is what's the intention, and did we reach what we're trying to accomplish here? And I think Where the Crawdad Sings absolutely does that. And it will be very popular with the mainstream average moviegoer that we talk about so often. Not a lot of, we're cinephiles, right? But you still have to be able to access the other areas of film, which include being able to watch a film like Where the Crawdads Sing and realize that, no, is it an Oscar film? No. Is it a 4-quad blockbuster? No. But it is the kind of film that especially the female demographic is really going to go bonkers for. Again, huge best-selling book. So when this thing outperforms this weekend, I think it will. I mean, the numbers like with 10 million up, I think it's 15, maybe 20. And here's why. Because again, the red states, the flyover states, the small markets, the South especially. I had someone tell me today that in Arkansas, DR Movie News, one of my good buddies on Twitter, tells me that they've sold out 3 screenings of it tonight because this is the kind of film that works there in Arkansas, in Tennessee, Kentucky, right? Florida, Georgia, name it, anywhere in the South, okay? We'll just list all the southern states. But I think that this is another issue where we have another example right here of where we have the critic audience disconnect. And I really have an issue with that. And I can't advise you more than to find somebody that you respect their opinions on films, and you think, most importantly, that they are unafraid to say things like, "Where the Crawdads Sing isn't half bad. It's actually very solid. I really enjoyed the film. I found myself getting emotional with it, which I did not expect. Early, I was on the fence. I don't know. And then when the film unfolds, and again, because of the expansive nature of the story, I think that's where it really draws me in. I love the passage of time in film, and this film does capture that, especially by the end. So it's a pretty strong recommendation for me for Where the Crawdads Sing, which is crazy because you turn around and you say, wait a second, you just destroyed The Gray Man. Well, that's called film evaluation and film criticism. You never know what is going to work and what's not going to work. You have to be open at all times to everything. Okay. And I'm telling you here tonight that Crawdads, Where the Crawdads Sing, is a very solid film. I would actually give it like a B plus for me. So it'd be like an 8.5 out of 10, which is very strong, much higher than I expected. So I would recommend you go see this film. Thor second weekend's coming up, and this is a big story because we know that this is a film that opened at 145 million in the first weekend here domestically, and it needs to continue to hold going forward starting this weekend. And really, there's nothing in its way. Where the Crawdads Sing is not a major film. It's not going to take eyeballs away from Thor. So you can't say it's that. There's nothing else. Everything else is very small that came out this weekend. So really, it's only leftover product in the marketplace that Thor has to deal with. Or is it apathy towards Thor? It feels like this film is already running out of steam. People are not talking about Thor Love and Thunder like they did Doctor Strange. And we've talked about all the reasons why. But one of the key reasons is what I just talked about. There was no competition for Doctor Strange, and Thor has everything in the marketplace. Minions, Black Phone, Maverick, Elvis, all of this stuff sitting there. Dominion still sitting around. Crawdads Sing this weekend. Doctor Strange had nothing. It was the only show in town. And what happens if there's only one show? Everyone goes to the one thing. That's where Thor has an issue, but it still has to garner enough interest from the average mainstream moviegoer who doesn't go to every MCU film. Will they go see Thor? We're going to find out this weekend, but I'm going to pull up something that I think is important. We're going to look at what it's been doing during the week. So as I pull this up, you're going to see it's Thor Love and Thunder. We had Monday, Tuesday, we have Wednesday. We're getting today's, we're not going to get today's number till tomorrow, but let's look here at Thor Love and Thunder. So here it is. So on Monday, 12 million, 13 million, and then Wednesday, 9 million. As I show these numbers here, let me zoom in. So as I show you these weekday numbers, so we have 3 past the weekend. These are very similar to Doctor Strange's first Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. In fact, they're almost identical. Strange was at 13.6, 12.6, and 9.1. Thor, 12.1, 13.6, and basically 9. Okay. So really it's lining up identically with that. And if that's the case, that means the second weekend hold should be better for Thor because it was a minus 67 on Doctor Strange because it had a bigger opening. So naturally, when you open bigger, you have a greater chance of falling more steeply in that second weekend because more people went out to see it opening weekend. So Thor can't use that as excuse. Thor's only excuse is people are not interested, or what we discussed a few days ago here on Midnight Movie Talk, that is wokeness an issue for Thor. Not necessarily the exactly on Thor, but Disney wokeness. People having issues with that. I hate using the word woke. You know I do, but you know what that means, okay? So when I say that, you understand that there are people in the marketplace who are not thrilled with some of the things Disney are doing, and that's where maybe this number comes down. It's one of the aspects. Let's get into the comments tonight and let's get started here on this Thursday. We're going to go fairly short tonight because last night I left it all on the table. It was everything was emptied out of the chamber. I was exhausted at the end of that because it was literally like I had to get everything off my chest about the Gray Man. Go back and watch that. That was some crazy night. But I'm so glad to be able to tell you that I turned around and saw a movie that I actually liked tonight. As bad as The Gray Man was, is how surprised I was at how Crawdads is actually a very solid film. Gone Girl, I'm seeing it tomorrow morning. Sorry I couldn't make it tonight. Hey, there was actually a pretty good crowd there tonight. It was about half full. It's not a major film, guys. So I mean, when I say half full, you're like, well, it should be bigger. Well, come on. It's a Saturday afternoon film, Sunday. I think that it really will depend on those matinee numbers. And it is not really a family film, okay? It's definitely has more mature themes in it. It's got some sex, it's got some, frankly, sexual assault, all kinds of things going on. And at that point, that's families really shouldn't be in this film, but that doesn't mean they won't go. So I think that some might go, oh, where the crowd out sing. That's a family film. We'll go see it. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, recommend it. I think you're going to like the film. I do. If you're fair to the film and you go with an open mind, I think you're going to enjoy your time. Sorry I missed the show last night. Listen, it was fantastic. I really wish go back and watch last night's epic destruction of the Gray Man because that was a fun show. Do you think we'll make more money opening weekend? Nope or Bullet Train? Nope, without a question. Bullet Train for me is a $30 million film. Nope is a 40 plus. So you're looking at a difference of 10. I think either one it's a really wild number. The swing on where this could be on each one is huge. So you're looking at a massive range. Okay, so you're looking at, for me, Nope could be anywhere from say 35 to 55 or higher. Let's put it 35 to 55. For Bullet Train, I feel like it's a 27, 25, let's just call it 25, 25 to 40. So I think it's a little right. So that the margins are lower on Bullet Train. There are our last two movies of the summer, and it's it. After Nope and after Bullet Train, no joke, I'm not underselling this. There's nothing of import in the marketplace until we get to truly like Black Adam in October. So here, and even tonight, when I went into Burbank 16, I'm sitting there, I walk in, and it's the 6:15 show, so it's kind of that off time. But either way, there's virtually nobody in the lobby and nobody in line at the concession stand. And this is what we talked about when people start saying movies, no one's going to movies and all that. That's because there's no new product this weekend that's compelling, that's big. It's a film that people want to run out and see, and that's not Crawdads, okay? And it's not Thor and Weekend 2. There's nothing. So all of a sudden, when we start getting these articles of movies are struggling, does anyone want to go to the movies? And it's coming because you guys already know it's cranking up. It's cranking back up. You've got LA saying we're going to have masks back on here at the end of the month. All that stuff's coming back. So you can expect the media to start saying, oh, do people want to go to movie theaters? Do they want to go to movies? And you can easily write that article out of bad faith by saying, no, nobody's going, because there's nothing in the marketplace. You can't say nobody's going or the numbers are down when you don't have any new product. It's so disingenuous to write that. But yet, I promise you we're going to get that. We're going to get tons of articles here in August. Look at movies. Movies are suffering. No one's going to the movie theater because look at what's out there. Again, past Nope, past Bullet Train, there is nothing. And again, neither of those films are giant 4-quad films. Nope, Bullet Train, no. We're done with the big films of the summer. Thor was the last one. The next massive 4-quad tentpole film that we get is Black Adam at the end of October. We're talking 3 months. So get ready for all the articles. No one's going. No one's going. Luis, I told you Daisy Edgar Jones movie is at least guaranteed a 9. You did say that. You should follow me on Twitter. For calling that, I think I will. The reality is, I only know her from Fresh. I watched the first half of Fresh, and I didn't even want to watch the rest of the movie because I was not into the whole cannibalism thing. It seemed like it's fine, the movie. She seemed very good, but I really have no experience with her. She's very solid. She is a very strong young actress that you should keep your eye on after watching what I just saw with the Crawdads. Rob, good evening to you. Can you believe they're trying to bring back? Yes, here it is. Do we want to get into this? Okay. You guys know how I feel about this. At the end of the day, it's all about personal choice. I will always be that person where I say that people need to be able to make their own decisions without someone from above telling you XYZ, this is what you have to do. Now, obviously, that does not mean within the constraints of the law, such as, you can just drive down the street going 700 miles an hour, okay? No, there are laws and rules. But as far as things like masks, as far as things, COVID altogether, I think it's a personal assessment of your, strength or weakness when it comes to getting out there. If you don't want to, that's your decision. If I feel comfortable doing it, that's my decision. I will always fall on that personal decision. And then there'll be people that say, well, there's people that can't be trusted. Well, but who are you to say that someone can't be trusted? Like, think about that. Think about, if you say that, think to yourself and say, wait a second. Who says that kind of thing? Like, I don't know if I trust this person to do that. It's like, that's not that person's job to have you worry about. Okay, it's going to get bad if I go into this, but you guys, bottom line is this: individual choice. Individual choice. Tyler, the movie was great but long. I agree, it's definitely a little long, no question about it. JT, Where the Crawdads Sing was a meh film. I really enjoyed it in the first half. Second half was boring flashback scene. JT, I disagree with you. I think that it's definitely above a meh film, but I understand how some people will feel that way. But for me personally, I think it's a very strong adaptation of what I can imagine, only imagine what the source material is. I didn't read the book, but I can clearly see the book through the movie. I can see what the book is. I imagine the book's better than the movie, but it's a strong film. I really think it's good. I'm surprised I'm saying that, but this is what I do here on MMT. Be real. Paul, recommend everyone grab a mint julep and the nearest gentleman caller and hop, skip, and jump to Crawdads. That it is a very southern film, right? Again, it'll do so well throughout the entire South. I wish I could have the individual market breakdown and look at where the Crawdads sing. It'll do like crazy numbers in Baton Rouge, in Biloxi, in Knoxville, Tennessee, and then you go and flip it and look at San Francisco, and where the Crawdads Sing will be literally like the last place of 20 films, because it's just not the kind of film that's going to work on the coast. It's going to work in the smaller markets, which is, kind of like almost like a faith-based film, right? Those movies like the last one, the Kurt Warner, The American Underdog. That's the kind of film that does well in those smaller red state, even though I don't really like red, blue, blah, blah, blah. But you guys know what I'm saying. The states that are the flyover states, the Ohio's my hometown, all that. By the way, tonight's soccer jersey, didn't even mention this. I got to do it. Tonight's kit, I should say, is, speaking of the Midwest, the Columbus Crew. Columbus Crew in the house tonight. I've got like 3 of these. My hometown, so I have to support the crew. All right, let's get back into the comments. Here we go. Give me a second. Let's push it. All right. How was Daisy's Southern accent in the movie? Alex, good evening to you. Thanks and welcome back to the channel. I found out she was British. Good. I mean, I don't think it's not a hard, serious, really, really mixed in there with that Southern accent. I think it's more of a lighter Southern accent. But again, I believed her as the Swamp Girl. So again, solid actress. How many points do you give Thor out of 100? Mr. Legend, I thought I answered this last night. It's 90 for me. 90 out of 100. I really like the film. And I'm telling you, I don't understand why. I don't understand why people don't like the film. I'm not going to get that. I mean, we're never going to see eye to eye on that. Jennifer, surprised I still have the Gray Man picture on the wall. It's there because I will never forget. Last night's show was one of those rare, almost like if you've seen Elvis, where he has the music flowing out of him right? As a kid, he's just in there and he's doing the revival and he's just like feeling everything like this. That was me last night talking about The Gray Man. I'm like, this is just flowing out of me. You need to watch that because that is all 100% organic. But the reality is, when you really feel strongly about a film, like or loathe, it's very easy to come on here and go off. Crawdads is a film I really like. I don't love, love, love. So it's kind of like it's harder to go on and on and on about it. But last night, when you look at The Gray Man, you say to yourself, what a horrible film for so many reasons. And I can talk about it for literally 6 hours straight about what's wrong about it. But so go watch the show. I'm still exhausted from it, frankly. Oh, no, we're doing Chris. I feel like Chris Gore is getting paid by the RRR publicity campaign to get this thing to make me watch this film. I am going to watch it, but it's like, stop asking. When I watch it, will he still ask? That's the question. People commented that Thor was boring and dull in his earlier films. Taika made him funny and people loved it. Now they hate that he's comedic. Make up your mind. I think he's great. He's comedic. I think he's very good. And I think that I don't and I won't ever understand where you guys are on those of you who don't like Thor, Love and Thunder. I just feel like you're wrong. I mean, I really do. And we can have arguments about films, but you're not right. And again, when you guys go to see The Gray Man, when you go to see The Gray Man, right? When you go to see this film, maybe this weekend, if you're going to see it theatrically, I don't recommend it. But when it shows up on Netflix next week, when you see The Gray Man, if you come in here and say The Gray Man was good, we're going to have a problem because you're going to have to state your case and it'll have to be airtight. Everything about it is impeccable. There's no way that you can tell me that that's a good film solely if only for the editing from hell in that film. That's enough to sabotage the entire thing. There's no way. Oh no, now Gore's asking me how do you feel? I already answered the question, how I feel about mandates. You know, I just said it. All right, guys, we're only going till 30 minutes. This is a 30-minute show tonight because I am exhausted from last night. The movie spirit was flowing through me last night, and tonight I frankly am just like, whew, but I am super excited and frankly surprised that I really enjoyed Crawdads. Wow. Okay, let's get a few more. Here we go. I talk Marvel. The rest of the summer's so dry compared to what it used to be. There wasn't even a major film coming till October. Let's pull up the list. Thank you. Let's do it right now. Here we go. Let's pull up the coming soon calendar. Let's see, release schedule. Okay, so here it is. Here we go. All right, so it is going to be a situation where we're gonna get in these films and be like, there's nothing coming. It is literally like good luck to you. The next major film we have, 4-quad film, is Black Adam. Okay, here it is. Pull it up. Share screen. The one thing I wish that this lovely thing called StreamYard would do is do better with its sharing streams. You have to go back in. Okay, forget it. I'm talking inside StreamYard talk. That's always going to be a winner. Okay, here we go. Release schedule. Boom. Okay, so let's scroll down. Let's find. By the way, I forgot. Marcel the Shell, the Shoes On is coming out for all of you to see this week. Finally, it was a platform release. You get to see it this week, so that is a good thing. Let's zoom in a little bit. Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. I need to see that. I've heard it's enjoyable. I'm not seeing Paws of Fury. Here we go. Where the Crawdads Sing. Okay, so we got Nope next weekend. That's the next big film. Then we get Bullet Train. Forget about DC League of Super Pets. I don't want to talk about it. Bullet Train is August 5th. And then look at this. After this, look at the 12th of August. Nothing. Emily the Criminal, I've heard decent things about. It's Roadside Attractions, not a big film. These are all tiny things. Fall, the Lionsgate movie about everyone stuck up on the tower, small movie. Then we're going to go into August, full August. Let's go all the way down. There's nothing, okay? Trust me on this. There is nothing there. I saw 3,000 Years of Longing. We'll talk about that coming up in closer to the release date. September, 0. I mean, September, except for Barbarian, which I've heard actually is solid. Okay, so Barbarian's sitting there, but that's not a big film. Look at this. There's nothing. Avatar re-released. Finally, you get Don't Worry, Darling on the 23rd of September. And Bros, but I mean, Smile. There is nothing significant. There is nothing that will generate interest in movies until after Bullet Train, nothing until Black Adam. We're going to have to retitle the show. It'll be Midnight Television Talk. and we have to talk about TV shows because the movie industry is going to be hurting in August and September. And that's where we're going to get all these articles. But the movies are dying. Nobody's going anymore. Oh my God. Like, ugh. Okay. Thor 4 was awful. Superhero movies, you're going to get banned. Watch it. I banned a guy last night for less. No, actually, it was way, way worse. Shang-Chi. Better than Shang-Chi? Yes. Absolutely, it is. No question. First of all, the filmmaking in Thor, the directorial display that I see in Thor Love and Thunder is stronger than Shang-Chi. That said, I do like Destin's direction in the film, but Thor Love and Thunder is a very well directed film. It's a well shot film, it's a well edited film, it moves well. You guys, I'm sorry, there's no way that Thor Love and Thunder is a bad film. I really question what you're doing if you call that a bad film. I'm so I can't see it any other way. I can't. I'm saying Nope will make 40. That's what I said, right? So somewhere between JT, like 35 and 50. Maybe it pops above that. Reviews are everything for Nope. Speaking of Nope, I will see it Tuesday. We'll do a live MMT obviously is always they're always live. We don't do any of the tape stuff. We do a live Nope next Tuesday. We'll have that back here on Sunday for box office. But box office isn't gonna be all that exciting this weekend. I mean, there's really not a whole lot to talk about there. So come up with some good stuff for Sunday night. All right, we have 4 minutes. 4 minutes on the clock tonight. Here we go. Gray Man ruled. Erick drooled. Peter wrong. It did not rule, and I did not drool. So this is both of these things are wrong, Peter. 100%. Domestic box office predictions for Crawdads Sing. Now that I've seen it again, I laid it out earlier, right? It's going to do well in the red states slash south slash smaller markets than it is in the major hubs, the LA's, New York, Chicago's, San Francisco, DC's. It's going to do well outside of there. And also, it's a major bestseller, so I think it outperforms. I'll put it between 15 and 20. If it hikes above that, I won't be shocked. It's really one of those wild card films, just like I will throw in Nope. I'll throw in Bullet Train. It's one of these things. How motivated are moviegoers to go see this film opening weekend? With Crawdads, a little more questionable because it's not the kind of thing that's compelling to run out and see. With Nope, it's going to depend on the reviews. The reviews are everything to Nope. If the reviews are strong for Nope, push the number up. If they are low, mid or low, push the number down. Nope is a film that is so dependent on reviews, much more so than a lot of these films like Dominion, even Thor, any of these films that are four quad giant, Minions. Even let's say Minions got bad reviews, it still would have done a huge number. Nope is dependent. It is connected directly to the reviews. Aaliyah, maybe the release of Spider-Man No Way Home, new footage on 9/2, Avatar 9/23. It'll drive. Listen, audiences will come. They'll have some people, but it's not going to be this huge event kind of situation that we just had with the last few films like Thor and Minions, even and Dominion, and Maverick and Elvis. All these films were all big. I mean, Elvis, even though it opened at 30, whatever it was, Elvis is probably going to be like a Nope. Maybe Nope does a little more than Elvis, but that's not a major 100 million plus $200 million film. So we're done with that. That's why we're going to start getting these articles that are like, I think the movies are in trouble. Paws of Fury is absolutely DOA. JT, nobody wants to see this film. I've even seen the reviews. Frankly, I know they're not going to be great. Let's look. Hold on. I have not seen. I'm going to look right here. Paws of Fury. I don't want to see the film, guys. I'm not going to comment on it. I don't want to sit through it, and I think you guys understand why. If I had little kids, I would absolutely go see Paws of Fury, and I would suffer through it. But it doesn't look funny to me. Like the trailers are bad. Here it is, Rotten. Okay, so it's actually at 61% positive, which is not terrible, but no one wants to see it. Yeah, it's not going to make a lot of money this weekend. Thor 4 is a love or hate thing, and I agree with that. And I don't know why. I have no idea why it is a love or hate, because for me, it's very much more of a love than a hate, and I don't understand how you get to hate. I understand just like and above, but for whatever reason, it doesn't make much sense to me. Driz, good evening to you. The chase sequence with Wanda in Multiverse of Madness alone is better than the entirety of Thor Love and Thunder. I would disagree with that 100%, Driz Sensei. Here's the reason why. for the two sequences that are without question better than anything in Multiverse of Madness right off the bat are Enya's time, and then we get into Welcome to the Jungle. Those two sequences kind of back to back in Thor Love and Thunder, they're very well done, tightly edited, really smart. They tell a story quickly. Those are really well directed spots, both time and then Welcome to the Jungle. I would completely disagree with you, and I'd say that both those things are better than anything in Multiverse of Madness. And I'll say it again, you can see Multiverse of Madness, you can see Sam Raimi and then you don't see Sam Raimi. I'm telling you right now, Sam Raimi shot some of the film and someone else took over. I know it. I see it. There's no way the directorial imprint of Raimi in that film is only there for partial, half the time, maybe whatever. Let's call it three quarters. Fine. There's a significant portion of Multiverse of Madness that is not Sam Raimi. Someone else is calling the shots. I know I'm right on that. I'm 100%. Just like I told you, when you guys see the Gray Man, the last scene is added at the end. They went back in like a year later and shot the final scene in the Gray Man. Just when you see it, you'll see it. All right, 2-minute warning, 2-minute warning. And then my eyes are starting to go like this. Yeah, 2 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes. Here we go. 2-minute warning. Where Erick Weber sings. Not tonight. Not happening, Nick. It was flowing last night. I might have sang last night to the Gray Man. Something horrendous. Oh, one thing I want to mention. Thank you for reminding me of this. The Taylor Swift song in the Crawdads is good. It's Carolina. It's kind of this down homey kind of thing. But remember, we're already into Best Original Song for the Oscars. You already have our good friend Lady Gaga in Maverick, and now you have Taylor Swift in Crawdads with this Carolina song. You already have two strong contenders for Best Original Song. JT, do not go see The Gray Man in theaters this weekend or next weekend. We're going to end it on this. Do not go see The Gray Man in theaters this weekend. Or if you do, be prepared to come at me on Sunday night with your takes about The Gray Man, telling me I'm wrong, that The Gray Man is the worst film of 2022. There's no way I am wrong, but I want you to try to come in here and defend the editing by the Russos, the direction, the outlandishly overboard direction in that film. Come at me if you go to see you'll probably have the theater to yourself this weekend because Netflix still hasn't figured out how to do theatrical. In this case with The Gray Man, it's a blessing because if it were wide, The Gray Man would be tanking hard. I'm very certain of that. And if it didn't tank on the first night, it would on the second, third. Word of mouth would get out and say, this is not good. And Alex, you're tired. So am I. Good night to you. I'll see you back here on Sunday night, guys. Appreciate it. Again, thanks for watching MMT. See you Sunday.